welcome to our next video. We are going to take a trip to Montana.
We're going to Montana because it's my 49th state. I only have one more state to be in all 50 states. I'm very grateful that my husband is willing to go all the way to Montana.
We live in Kansas City, and normally we take the Southwest Chiefs to Chicago to get on the Empire Builder to go to Montana, but it was sold out. So we rode the Missouri River Runner and the Lincoln Service. Much longer ride, 11 hours as opposed to 7 hours. But I don't mind, we're on the train.
In several of our travels, we've been joined by the Amish community as they are able to travel by train, and we've really enjoyed them as travel partners.
It's their off season, and you can tell the difference between their Amish and Mennonites by their clothing. Amish is more uniform, plain colors. We're leaving Chicago now on the Empire Builder. When I worked for Amtrak in college, I worked this train a couple times back in the early 70s.
Ryan has been hesitant to go to Montana during anything that would resemble a cold month because the last time he was there it was 25 below. Here we are in Williston, North Dakota, also known as Boomtown, USA. They are a major oil hub for Bakken oil, and it's a central oil field services center. There's a lot of nothing in North Dakota.
Except a large BNSF presence. They merged with Santa Fe many years ago. Next up is Malta, Montana. Somewhere between Malta, Montana and Minot, North Dakota, we had a man on the train who probably was just released from prison, and he took liberties to go through not everybody's, but a lot of people's bags, including Lori's. Her stuff was sprung all over the luggage rack. And he went through my bag. My stuff was mostly in the suitcase, but he took a hoodie, a Nike hoodie. Well, later Lori spotted him in the observation car, and I pointed him out to the conductors. They took him downstairs, started crying. It was a big show. And they read him the riot act. He didn't put him off the train, but he said the next conductors, Minot's a division point, would know and watch him like a hawk, and they were strict, and they might put him off the train. Sure enough,
they put him off the train. I guess he really didn't behave himself, and so they ended up putting him off at like the next town. So he was not doing well in life at that moment.
They're known as cowboy conductors. He had almost no clothing.
What's a cowboy conductor?
Just a term that the easygoing conductor gave to them, and they are known as being very strict. Now, he had almost no clothing, and so I just let him keep the hoodie, not knowing he would need it more than I would. So I let him keep it.
Especially in North, where he was going to be let off the train. I've just seen the statue of J.J. Hill, and he is the guy who was responsible for the building of what they call the Empire Builder, because he built the train line from Seattle to Chicago. And now we're seeing moments when we were in Havre, Montana, and we spent the night at that little Siesta retro hotel. It was really quite fun. It had incredible reviews, which is why I chose it. Plus, it was only a quarter mile from the station. And we just really enjoyed that little room. It had a 1951 refrigerator. Can you believe it? It really worked well. It was quite fun.
We ate at the Char Family Dining Grill, and saw a brief picture of the cowboy who had to run to the toilet. I didn't have to do that here, but there was a time on this trip I did get some food poisoning, but not here. Havre is a railroad town. We're now getting ready to leave, go back to Chicago, and this is the eastbound Empire Builder coming to pick us up.
And here comes our train, and look at those beautiful colors, the red and blue. They call it the Pepsi can because of the coloring, and it really does kind of look like a Pepsi can. These beautiful new engines are really lovely.
They are Siemens Chargers. I believe they're built in America. Havre, Montana is the main railroad division point on this Empire Building, so it's mostly a railroad town. We were near Old Town. You don't want to go there on a Sunday, everything shuts down, but other days there's enough interesting things to do to go to Havre, Montana. Our first stop on the Empire Builder was Chinook, Montana. This was an unscheduled stop, and the cowboy conductors are back on the train again, and they were at it again as they're going to have to put somebody off the train.
Although this time we had nothing to do with it, and we're glad.
Then we are on the eastbound Empire Builder, and we're coming up to Malta, Montana. This is known as a hub for dinosaur exploration and rich paleontological finds. Dinosaur country.
We're coming into Glasgow, Montana, which is really in the middle of nowhere, and that's what it's known for. They have less than 1,000 people there.
And it's the furthest away from any other metropolitan.
4 hours from any other city.
No, in general, we're very close to Canada. Actually, when we were in Havre, there was a Canada street that went up over a bridge out of Havre, Montana, and that would lead you straight to Canada, short distance. But there are also Native American Indian reservations in this area, and quite a bit of it is reservation territory. Next up is a stop at Wolf Point, Montana.
This is the home of the annual Wild Horse Stampede, the oldest rodeo in Montana. And it's also located on the Fort Peck Indian Reservation along the Missouri River.
We were on the USA Rail Pass, and this is the second time we bought a Rail Pass this year. This one we bought for $250. I think around Christmas time. It was on sale for a couple of weeks. Yeah, in December. It was on sale for 2 weeks, so we jumped on this deal. When you ride the Rail Pass, you can see all the varied terrain around the countries and mountains, mountainsides, the coastlines. And this terrain in Montana is about as barren as it gets, but it has its own beauty. Going west on the Empire Building, it's mostly daylight in North Dakota, but going east it is going to be dark. This is Fargo, North Dakota. As usual, Lori is sleeping pretty good on the coaches, and I am not. Which we
Oh no.
thought it was going to be the other way around. Sunrise in North Dakota, though. Very beautiful. Now we're coming into St. Paul. We saw a vintage Santa Fe engine. My first year working for Amtrak was actually working for Santa Fe in 1973. Amtrak took over the cruise in 74. Look at downtown Minneapolis here. And you're going to see some vintage equipment, Milwaukee Road. Louisville and Nashville coached, another Milwaukee Road, and I think there's a UP car coming up. Yeah, Maggie's car from Milwaukee Road. That might also be Milwaukee Road, but in UP colors. I like to catch every stadium we go by.
He always does. He doesn't sleep through stadiums. It's amazing.
Well, we're going to go by Target Field. Lori and I went to Target Field
We've been
years
there.
ago. Watched the Royals play the Twins. That was a fun trip to Minnesota that we took. And oh look, another stadium.
Oh, here we are. One thing we want to add in here as we're going through St. Paul in the pictures is that it is really unusual for somebody to go through luggage on the train. In fact, all of the conductors and everybody said, wow, that never happens. So we learned that you can put zip ties on your luggage if you want to protect them, if you want to leave them downstairs when you're upstairs. But it really did surprise everybody we talked to about that. And we actually we found out that it kind of gets through the system a little bit. People hear about these things. They thought,
everybody.
so this happened on the Empire Builder, but I mean everybody on the line knew what was going on, and they knew about this guy, and they were worried about him, and they were watching him. So they're really quite aware of what's going on in their train. So just generally, we are not afraid of our luggage being broken into, and that was just an unusual situation.
Well, I think we're looking at the headwaters of the Mississippi here. I'm not sure, but
Yes, we are.
okay. But one comment that Lori saying, still, I would not leave anything valuable on the luggage racks downstairs out of your presence. Keep your valuable stuff in a pack near you at your seat.
Correct.
Okay, St. Paul is the capital of Minnesota. It's the more historic Twin City to Minneapolis. Once we go clickety-clack down the track, our next stop is going to be Red Wing, well-preserved Victorian homes in St. Paul.
Red Wing is the home of the Red Wing shoes. Now, my father went out of his way to buy Red Wing shoes. They were the best of the best. They were renowned for their footwear. And they also have historic pottery place, and they're situated on the Mississippi River.
Also known for its historic bluffs. As a train, we saw the barren land in North Dakota. The train's changing now quite a bit.
The name comes from Native American history. It was named after a Metawakanton Dakota chiefs, Red Wing.
Our next stop is Winona, Minnesota, and it's an island city nestled between the Missouri River bluffs and Lake Winona, characterized by dramatic scenery, 19th century architecture, and it's an outdoor paradise offering lots of hiking and rock climbing.
I'm going to say it's an outdoor paradise when it's not 25 below.
Well, it's spring and summer.
And it's beautiful. It was really nice. We had decent weather when we were there.
Yeah, I think we're done with winter.
Yeah.
Oh, another stadium, Winona State University.
Brian gets it again.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a reminder, if you have any checked luggage, when we come to a stop, step off the train and head towards the front of the train.
So our time on the train was a little bit chilly. Oh, look here I am in my little hat and my scarf. I'm telling you what, it was so cold on that train. I wore my hat and my scarf just to keep warm. And you always need a little blanket when you're on the train. And I learned that my hat worked really well as an eye shield at night. I just pulled it over my eyes, and it was like it protected from the bright lights at nighttime too. It's very nice.
And you could get those little blankets. They're very light, but surprisingly warm.
Yeah, Brian has really enjoyed them too.
And a small neck pillow wouldn't hurt as well. Seats are comfortable, and you'll enjoy the ride, but a blanket and pillow should be brought. Tomah, Wisconsin, next stop. and then Portage, Wisconsin. It's a historic city built on a narrow strip of land between the Fox and Wisconsin rivers. This spot was a crucial transportation route connecting the Great Lakes and Mississippi waterways, famously used by the explorers Marquette and Joliet in 1673. All right, Columbus, Wisconsin, small population here, but it's one of only 8 Amtrak stations in Wisconsin. It's 30 miles north of Madison, Wisconsin.
And all of us know that Madison, Wisconsin is the capital. And it's the only capital on an isthmus, I think.
Okay, when we were on the train,
Oh, there's the Miller building.
that's the Miller building. We met a guy named Doug who was looking for somebody to play cards with.
Actually, he was looking to flirt with girls.
That was the end goal there. So he saw Lori, and she said, well, I asked my husband if he wants to play cards, so we
I'll
did.
ask my husband if he wants to play cards with me.
Yeah. So we played. He taught us how to play Kingston Corner, and we played for probably an hour or so, but he wanted to see that Miller sign. We're coming into Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This is a stop of Milwaukee. I think we're about now 90 miles north of Chicago on a return trip. All right, this video is the first of 2 or 3 videos we're going to make of this trip. I wanted to stop below 20 minutes. Our next video will be our trip from Chicago to Vicksburg, Mississippi. And that will be one video. And the third video
We'll be in Laurel, Mississippi.
Yeah, Laurel, Mississippi, the hometown of the HGTV show.
Yeah, it's called Hometown with Ben and Aaron Napier.
So stay tuned for those 2 videos coming up. Chicago is such a hub. We're coming into Chicago here on the video. Union Station, Chicago, well, this is still Milwaukee. Chicago will be next. But in Union Station, Chicago, you can walk to hotels. We stayed in the La Quinta Inn.
La Quinta Inn.
Yeah, in Chicago. Next to it was a Noodles and Company restaurant, and also we like Chipotle. It was there as well. So we stocked up on meals. Lori and I can't eat a lot of the food that's on Amtrak. She's allergic to dairy. I'm allergic to dairy and wheat. There are a few things we can get, but not a lot. So we eat pretty good when we're not on the train and bring stuff when we're on, such as
tuna and trail mix and dates and apples. We like apples.
Oh yeah, but they're heavy to carry in a backpack.
They are. That's an inside joke we'll tell you in the next video. Stay tuned.